he is the vicar of Christ. And the vicar of Christ is guided by the Lord of history.
This is Maike Hickson from Lifestyle News. We are here in Cincinnati with the Fatima Center, who is hosting a conference on Fatima. And I'm here with Christopher Ferrara, lawyer and Fatima expert, who gave you an exciting talk and had a lot of positive things to say about our new Pope, Leo XIV. And so I wanted to ask you, first of all, perhaps you could also tell us some of the positive insights or statements that you have found out about Pope Leo XIV that he issued before he became Pope.
Well, first of all, appearances, symbolism are important to our faith. Our faith is not just a bunch of words heaped up in the form of documents that set forth rules. The faith exhibits what it means by an outward display. With the papacy, there's a reason for the papal garb that he wore on the day of his election, and the mozzetta, and all the rest of it. There's a reason for the universal language of the church. And the reason is to show that the church is not a time-bound institution. It goes across all of time, and this Pope seems determined to recreate that distinct impression of a timeless institution, in which it doesn't matter who the person is that occupies the papacy, as opposed to someone who understands that he is the vicar of Christ, and that the vicar of Christ is guided by the Lord of history, who is not bound by any particular period of time. I hope we have an end of the Church of Vatican II. The choice of the name Leo XIV indicates that this Pope, at last, after 60 years of being trapped in this vicious cycle, is recognizing that there was actually a church before 1962. So I think there's reason for hope.
Plus also some of the statements that you found when he was a cardinal, where he made very clear statements against LGBT and the confusion.
His paper trail is quite encouraging. Numerous statements against communism, against collectivism, against the idea that there are more than two genders, against the LGBTQ lobby. I indicated in another interview, I'm mystified as to why Cardinal Cupich is so elated over his election, because the things that he has said about ideological issues that are so dear to Cupich and his promotion of the homosexual agenda are antithetical to what Cupich stands for. So I don't get that part of what's going on, but he has quite clearly come out against the LGBTQ ideology and the idea of gender fluidity. Now, gender fluidity, he recognizes, is an attack on the created order. It's the last stage of the devil's rebellion. When you deny that there are male and female, and you can just designate yourself to be any gender you want, what's left of the created order? And man, of course, is at the pinnacle of the created order. So if you attack the creation of man and woman made from man, you attack the pinnacle of creation, and with it, the whole creative order collapses. There's nothing anymore in terms of created entities, what we call in Thomistic philosophy matter and form. No, everything's just in process of evolution. There are no natures or essences. So he recognizes this, the new Pope, and he has taken a stand pretty clearly against this form of ideology. I'm very encouraged by that. Again, I'm not saying he's another Pius X. We have to see. I would say within a month, we will know whether this trajectory is in the right direction, the trajectory of this pontificate.
In light of, some of these encouraging signs, do you think there would be hope? Should we Catholics ask Pope Leo XIV to do a consecration of Russia?
Well, it's amazing to me that beginning with Pius XII, who literally saw the miracle of the sun in the Vatican gardens, we've had attempt after attempt after attempt to consecrate Russia. Pius XII maybe came closest because he did consecrate Russia, but only in a written document. There has yet to be a collegial consecration of the Pope and the bishops together of Russia alone, to the Immaculate Heart. The ceremony that Francis attempted, just another example of lumping a whole bunch of things together and sticking Russia in as part of a long list of objects of consecration. To consecrate Russia, you have to consecrate Russia, not a bunch of other things. Yeah. So it would make sense to ask Leo finally to consecrate Russia and Russia alone to the Immaculate Heart of Mary, in keeping with the Virgin's wishes, as expressed to Sister Lucia in 1929 when she appeared and said the time has come for the consecration of Russia. We saw the results of Francis's attempt. There was an escalation of the Russia-Ukraine war. So that obviously was not met with heaven's approval.
Especially in light of the fact that Pope Francis was downplaying sin. And when you think about the message of Fatima at large, it's really a call to conversion and about, the evil of sin. And Pope Francis certainly didn't have that in his mind or in his acts and deeds at the time, and to promote the 5 Saturday devotion and acts in the Rosary, the acts of penance and reparation. Would you agree?
Yeah, but I would also say the attempts probably produced some benefits. We know that Sister Lucia has had locutions from the Virgin that this or that attempt would produce some benefit. So if you want to use a crude sports metaphor, there have been some doubles and triples, but there's no home run. And the home run will happen when Russia alone is consecrated, and then we will see the true conversion of Russia. Yeah. There's been a change in Russia, and obviously you could consider it a quasi-miraculous change from a communist dictatorship to basically an authoritarian regime, but now at least the Orthodox Church can function. There's some degree of liberty for the Catholic Church, but it's still a secularized society, far from being converted in the way that the Virgin had envisioned when she came to Fatima. So yeah, we should be petitioning the Pope at long last to consecrate just Russia, Russia alone, to the Immaculate Heart.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Ferrara.
You're welcome.
From Lifestyle News, that a lot of our readers will join Mr. Ferrara in this call to Pope Leo XIV to consecrate Russia to the Immaculate Heart of Mary. And thank you, Fatima Center, for hosting this wonderful conference. Micah Hickson for Lifestyle News.
Hi everyone, this is John Henry Weston for LifeSite News. We hope you found this video insightful. For more content like this, be sure to check out the links in the description below. You can also follow us on social media to stay updated on the latest news concerning life, faith, family, and freedom. Thanks for watching, and may God bless you.